Hi everyone, and on today's video I'm gonna try to answer the question, does using manual mode makes you a better photographer? Yes, I think you should be using manual mode. Why? It's in the letter M mode, like mastering. Oh. A is for amateurs, don't you know? Dude, I think you're full of
misconception.
Let's check this out. So let's take the problem the other way around. Let's imagine I want to take this picture with a background that is totally blown out. Bokeh images, like we want to call them. Okay, so I'm gonna use a wide aperture, 1.4, 1.8, whatever your lens is capable of. And then I'm gonna adjust the shutter speed to make a good exposure. Is this possible with Aperture Priority? Yes. That's what it was made for. Is this possible with shutter speed priority? It's also possible because I simply adjust the shutter speed so the aperture is corresponding to the desired value. Okay, but what about program mode? Program mode, if you are using a modern day camera, just by moving the dial here, it's gonna change the value, but without changing the exposures. Follows the reciprocity law, so it's even possible with program mode. Okay, that was just an example. Let's have a look at this picture. Now, this picture, I need a fast shutter speed. I want to freeze movement. Okay, so I'm gonna use a fast shutter speed, let's say 1/1000, and adjust my aperture accordingly. Okay, is this possible with shutter speed priority? Obviously, once again, it was designed for this purpose. Is it possible with aperture priority? Duh, I'm simply use a wider aperture and take care that the shutter speed that is automatically selected is the one I want to freeze movement. And there we go, same story for program mode once again. Yeah, you're gonna say, well, these are just two examples. Let's have a look at an image where it's a little bit tricky. This is Protégé at a concert, and if you follow the automatic exposure from your camera is gonna be a little bit confused. The black background, the camera is gonna think there is not enough light, so your image might be overexposed, at least on the subject. So in manual mode, I will adjust the exposure, but in automatic exposure there is something called exposure compensation and also exposure locking button. So it's still possible there. So why is manual mode regarded as the paragon of photography? And it's a simple reason, because you have to do things by yourself. You have to select the aperture and select the shutter speed. But many people, when they begin using manual mode, what they do is just center the needle inside the viewfinder and they are happy with it. If you don't know what the settings are going to change, the aperture or the shutter speed, depth of field and movement, well, using manual mode is not going to be of any help. What you need to do is to understand what the settings are actually doing for the end result. And once you know that, using aperture priority, shutter speed priority, or even manual mode, well, there is absolutely no difference. You have to know your parameters, and that's how you improve your photographic experience. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something today, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like and a comment down below if you are interested into more content. Goodbye, and see you next time.